All right, let's get right into it. Every so often, a book comes along that doesn't just, add to the conversation, it completely changes it. Today, we're looking at one of those books. It's about addiction, but it offers a whole new way to map our inner world.
And hey, it's not just me saying this. I mean, when a best-selling author like Ann Dowsett Johnson uses words like brave and revolutionary, you know you've stumbled onto something pretty special. It's a sign that we're about to explore an idea that really matters. So what is this book? It's called Treating Trauma and Addiction with the Felt Sense Polyvagal Model, and it's by Jan Winhall. And right from the get-go, it poses this huge provocative question. What if our whole approach to addiction has been looking in the wrong direction all along?
Okay, so to really get what Winhall's doing here, we have to understand the world she's stepping into. For a long, long time, the main way we've talked about addiction is through something called the disease model. The book basically lays out two totally different ways of looking at the problem. On one side, you've got the standard top-down medical model. Think brain first, it's all about diagnosis, pathology, what's going wrong up in our heads. But Winhall flips that script completely. She argues for a bottom-up approach, and that's a huge deal. It means we stop looking just at the brain, and we start listening to the body. Which, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question, right? If addiction isn't a disease in the way we usually think about it, then what in the world is it? And this is where things get really fascinating. Winhall's answer isn't just one simple thing. She brilliantly weaves together two powerful, body-focused ideas. She's basically saying the solution isn't hidden in some textbook, it's already inside us, in our body's own deep wisdom. So the first piece of the puzzle is something called Polyvagal Theory. You might have heard of it. It comes from Dr. Stephen Porges. And it's the science of how we stay alive. Think of your nervous system as this super smart internal radar, constantly scanning. Am I safe? Is there a threat? It's our body's built-in survival system, and it's running 24/7. Then there's the second piece, the felt sense. This idea comes from Eugene Gendlin, and if polyvagal theory is the biological how, the felt sense is kind of the intuitive what. It's that gut feeling you get, that deep physical knowing when something just feels right or really, really wrong. The book calls it our inner compass, and that's a perfect way to put it. So you've got the hard science of our nervous system, and you've got this deep intuitive body wisdom. What happens when you combine them? Well, according to this book, you get something totally new, a groundbreaking map for our inner world. And this right here is the genius of what Jan Winhall did. She didn't just say, hey, here are two cool ideas. No, she wove them together. She created this incredible unified model that lets us see what's going on inside ourselves in a way we never could before. Okay, so here it is, the Felt Sense Polyvagal Model, or FSPM for short. And I know at first glance, it looks like a lot, right? And this version is definitely the one for the pros, for clinicians. But stick with me. What you're looking at is a map of you. A map of your nervous system showing not just black and white safe or danger, but all the shades of gray in between. But here's where it gets really cool. Winhall knew that chart was a bit much, so she boiled it all down into something anyone can use. She calls it the 6 Fs. You've got flight or flight, that's your anxiety, that mobilized energy. You've got fold, that's when you shut down, you feel numb. Then there's fixate, and that's the addiction piece. But then you have the good stuff, flock, that's connecting with people. Fun, yep, just good old-fashioned play. And flow, that feeling of being calm and present, without fear. All of a sudden, that complicated map becomes a simple, powerful tool. Okay, so we have this new map, the 6 Fs. But this isn't just about labeling feelings. This is where we get to the absolute heart of the book's argument, the part that changes everything. And here is the big takeaway. In this new model, that state of fixate, addiction, is not a moral failing. It's not a disease. It is the body's intelligent, if desperate, attempt to survive. It's a coping strategy, a way to manage something that feels absolutely unbearable when your nervous system is just completely overwhelmed. This quote from neuroscientist Mark Lewis just nails it, doesn't it? He calls addiction a brilliantly adaptive way to bear the unbearable. Think about that for a second. The addiction isn't the real problem. It's the solution the body came up with for a much, much deeper problem of trauma and dysregulation. And so this book leaves us with a really big question to chew on. If we stop seeing addiction as a sickness to be cured and start seeing it as a survival strategy to be understood, what does that change? I mean, really, how does that change our compassion, our approach to treatment, and maybe most importantly, how we understand ourselves?